Many of you have been asking about the study materials on MindTap, so I decided to create a quick video to show you how to access some of the resources that you have available at your fingertips. When you first log in on MindTap, you will come to Week View. That's this calendar here at the top of your toolbar. But if you go to the right, you will see Unit View. If you click Unit View, it will take you to all of the units that we will cover over the course of the semester. Let's say I want to go to material for Chapter 4. If I click on Chapter 4, it'll open up with access to the interactive textbook. I would be able to see what homework is due. I'd be able to look at the problems in the back of the textbook as practice if I decided to do so. There are video problem walkthroughs if you're having trouble with a particular problem on a homework set. But what I want to bring your attention to is the study and test prep. So in study and test prep, for each chapter that we will cover, it includes a study guide and it also includes adaptive test prep. So if you click on the study guide for Chapter 4, it will take you to this screen. And what you will see is that it starts with a chapter overview. So assuming that you've already read the chapter, then you can just click on chapter review and it will take you through maybe 2 to 3 pages of reading. But what it will do is highlight the key points in the chapter. It won't take you through long drawn out examples, etc. It will just take you through the key points in the chapter. Okay, so this is a great way to review some of the main points. And then if you click helpful hints, this portion is very short, and what it will do is highlight some of the misconceptions associated with the concepts in the textbook. As you can see, the first helpful hint goes over differences between a change in demand and a change in quantity demanded. This particular concept is difficult for students to understand, so they provided a helpful hint for that. So I would also suggest that you read through this to make sure that you understand these concepts as well. If you go to the chapter review, this is where you will find sample problems that you can work through. If I want to go over terms and definitions, I can get to a matching exercise for this chapter. In my notebook, I would write down the definition number, at least, that's associated with each of these key terms. Then I go ahead and click the answer button and see if I selected the appropriate definition that goes along with each concept. This is one way to review terms and definitions. You can also go to your toolbar on the right and click this flashcards button. Okay. If I go to Chapter 4, I can see that there are 20 flashcards already built in for this particular chapter. These flashcards cover the key concepts within the chapter. If there's a concept that's not included that you'd like to include, you can create your own flashcard. So there's no reason to go to another website to do these flashcards. You can go ahead and use the ones that are already built in. So going back to the chapter contents of the study guide for Chapter 4, if I want to work through some short answer problems, then it will take me through some examples, and I can also click the answer button here to see if I answered the problem correctly. In this case, graphing a supply and demand diagram. So this is also going to be good practice. Moving forward, getting into a little bit tougher questions, right? I can do a quick self-test where for each question, I can select the answer button. It will tell me the correct answer and give me a small or short explanation for that particular question. So underneath these true and false questions, you'll see some multiple choice questions that will mimic a little bit more what you'll see on your exam. Okay, and then finally it comes to advanced critical thinking. These are a little bit tougher questions that you can go through as well. So once you feel comfortable with the material, I would say that is the point where you can give yourself a practice test using adaptive test prep. I suggest selecting all of the chapters that will be included in the exam. In this case, I selected chapters 1 through 4. I don't think we covered section 1, 3, but you can go in and check that. I think that's the section that covers macroeconomic concepts, which we didn't cover, right? So I just deselected that. So that's just to give you an example that you can exclude certain sections if you choose. In this case, I am giving myself 40 questions, And then if you click Take Test Now, it will take you through a test-like environment where you answer the questions, and then at the end of the test, it will let you know which ones you got correct or incorrect. So if I go to my home screen, as you can see, I gave myself an exam with 10 questions. I didn't do so well, but it will let you know if you got the question correct. It will give you a short explanation. And then if you got the answer wrong, this is probably when those explanations will definitely be helpful, right? So in this case, I got the answer wrong. It gave me a short explanation of the question. Then in this case, it gives me a video. Not all of them will have a video, but some of them will, to explain the concept. But the really nice thing is that if you click this e-reader button, it will take you to the exact portion of the textbook that is associated with this particular concept, right? So this concept deals with trade-offs. So it takes me to the section in the textbook that deals with trade-offs. So these are the materials that you have at your fingertips to study for exams, all within MindTap. In this case, I went to Unit View, even though when you start out, you will start out in Week View. So hopefully this is helpful.